if they were to decide to have more kids in the future, I would still be very upset about that. That's how I feel about it.
Everything's gonna be great, so.
I'm pregnant.
No, I joke.
That was not funny!
He needs to show up. Our relationship can't survive without this wedding today. Nothing.
I don't know if I really want to do this.
For me, it felt selfish. You took all the joy out of it for me, all of it.
Unfortunately, weddings don't always mean the start of a happily ever after. We've seen how quickly things can go bad. But Shawn and Alliya might be setting a new record. But before we get to them, let's kick off proceedings with Sarper and Shekinah.
It's our wedding day. It's finally happening.
Wow, you are so happy.
I'm so happy. The room looks gorgeous. The flowers are all here.
Now, while I still maintain that the idea of a bedding, like getting married in a bed rather than an actual wedding, feels very strange to me, feels a little tacky to me, I will concede that the room looks nice. Like, for what it is, it looks lovely. It's not necessarily the wedding that most of us dream about, but then again, Sarper and Shekinah aren't exactly the most conventional couple. But the problem is, while the room might be coming together, Shekinah is still very worried about Sarper.
Sarper woke up in the middle of the night screaming out in his sleep. He was terrified of something, and it was in Turkish. I don't know what he was saying. He doesn't normally have nightmares like this.
I mean, if the thought of getting married literally gives you nightmares, then that might be a sign that you should reconsider. Like, apparently this has been going on all week, and Sarper's not usually one to have nightmares. Now, to her face, Sarper has tried to reassure Shekinah that it's not from the stress. No, maybe it's because he's too excited. But privately to the camera crew, he tells us he's still, like, on the day of his bedding, he's still not sure what he wants to do.
Mind is up. I want to be with Shekinah, that's for sure, but I don't know if I really want to do this.
See you later.
Okay.
He'd better make his mind up soon, like time is running out. Now, as Sarper heads to another room to get ready, Shekinah and her cousin, who also happens to be her wedding planner, start the long process of getting her ready. But there's a problem. You see, knowing how stressed Sarper is, Shekinah tries to message him, but no reply. So a little while later, she tries to call him, but again, no answer. What's going on? Asks a visibly shaken Shekinah. Has he disappeared again?
He needs to show up. Our relationship can't survive without this wedding today. Nothing.
It's very clear that Shekinah is really beginning to freak out. Like, the truth is, their time on the K1 visa is up. If they don't get married today, then Sarper literally has to go home. Shekinah, in fact, both of them have made it very clear that long distance isn't going to work for them. So it's either marriage or nothing. Like, if he doesn't show up today, then their relationship is over. So with that in mind, it comes as a huge relief to Shekinah when Sarper does finally answer his phone. Now, for what it's worth, Sarper doesn't understand her panic. Why are you so stressed? Why are you panicking? He asks. It's not as if you don't know how to find me.
Well, I was checking on you.
You are always in touch with me, baby. I have tracker everywhere.
You don't have trackers everywhere.
Just check the damn tracker that you have on me, then you'll know where I am, he says, and while it might sound a little salty, I actually think that for Shekinah that should be a good sign. Like, he's teasing her, he's clearly in better spirits, he's trying to make a joke of it, and he's getting ready. Like, he literally says, I don't want to be with anyone else. Shekinah is the woman for me. She's the one that's made me leave my past behind, and because of that, I'm a better person, he says. And the truth is, Sarper has come a very long way. This guy that we see before us is a million miles away from the guy that kept bottle collections and a little black book with all the women he slept with. So after the call, feeling better, feeling somewhat reassured with her mind at ease, Shekinah continues to get ready.
This is the perfect dress for a wedding. It's not a long flowing gown. It's more like a sexy little lingerie-esque dress, which I love.
Again, in a similar way to Alliya last week, this isn't exactly the kind of dress that most brides would go for. But I guess when you're getting married in a bed, wearing something that looks more like lingerie is probably very appropriate. Plus, it also fits with Sarper's outfit too. So with the pair now ready to go, Sarper makes his way back to his room where his wife-to-be is ready to walk down the aisle. Walk down the hallway. Honestly, what is going on here? This has to be one of the strangest things I've ever seen. Sorry, I just can't take this seriously. Like, what is he wearing? I half expect him to start one of his dancing routines. Now, just to top off this craziness, they then make their way over to the bed and the wedding officiant comes in straight-faced. I mean, that in itself is an achievement. I'm sure every fibre of his being wants to burst out laughing. But he comes in, stays professional, does what he has to do, and then the time comes for Sarper and Shekinah to recite the vows that they've written for each other.
I love you with all my heart, my mind, my body and soul.
I promise to not cheat on you ever once in my life.
I mean, I get why he says it, especially given all of her trust issues, but surely that should be a given anyway. That, in addition to his reference to his past life, his dirty, dark, chaotic past life, isn't exactly the most romantic of wedding vows. But with the vows now completed, they then exchange wedding rings and they get to kiss for the first time as husband and wife. That's it, they're now officially married. So it turns out a bedding isn't all that much different to a wedding. Like, the only real difference is they now get to kick out the wedding officiant, wedding planner and photographer, and they get to do what normal couples have to wait till the wedding night to get down to. Efficiency, I guess. And it turns out Sarper has a very special wedding day surprise for Shekinah.
You look better married. Ah! Let's get to it, sweetie. Oh my God.
I think it's best for all of our sake that we leave the happy couple there and move on to another couple getting ready to tie the knot. So the last we saw Mark and Mina, they'd just received the news that little Clayton wouldn't be able to attend their wedding. And that news, understandably, is still weighing on the both of them.
I want it to be perfect for her, and right now it's not. But unfortunately, she's got to make a choice to get married without him or to not get married.
Sadly, regardless of what they do, this day won't be perfect. But they do still have a few touches, like they do still do a few things to honour Clayton to try and make him a part of the day. For example, they've got a massive photo of him and his mum. Now, leaving Mina to get ready with her sister, Mark heads over to another room to get dressed with the guys.
You sure you're ready to go, bro? We get married, we still get out of here.
Nah, I'm good. I love her, man. She's awesome. You guys met her, you know.
Now, despite cutting his face while shaving, Mark, and Mina for that matter, are both in great spirits. And by the way, just look at Mina. She looks beautiful, doesn't she? And it's also worth pointing out that Mark's son is there too. This is the first that we're meeting him. It's nice to see that he's here for support. It's nice to see that this is turning into a happy, family-filled occasion. Even Jordan shows up, and to be fair to her, she is a lot nicer than we've seen her up until this point. She actually seems genuinely happy for her dad.
We agree to disagree, but yeah.
The more you get to know her, the more you're going to realize, that she's in it for the long haul, and she has a big heart, just like you.
Jordan admits that she feels a lot better since finding out that Mina has signed a prenup, but I wonder if she knows that her dad has agreed to legally adopt Clayton. Will she still be as happy knowing that her inheritance is being whittled down further? I guess that is a worry for another day. You see, for now, the wedding is about to start, and one little girl in particular steals the spotlight.
Maria.
That is so darn cute. Like, Maria waving to the crowd has to be one of the cutest things I've seen. It's heart-melting, it's beautiful to watch. And then it's time for the main attraction. With Mark's dad walking her down the aisle, Mina walks towards Mark and their new future together.
Totally surreal moment. And I'll leave you with this gentleman right here.
Thank you, babe. Hi. Hi, Mama. Hi, Clayton.
It's a beautiful, special moment, made even more special by the fact that Clayton is there virtually watching on too. It's not as they hoped, but it is the best that they can achieve for now. And after they exchange vows and they exchange wedding rings, finally, it's the moment that Mark has been waiting for.
You make he's the bride.
I genuinely have high hopes for these two. I really do think that they have a shot at a happy, healthy marriage. Like, just look at them. Just look at how much love they have for each other. They're overjoyed to be married. And with the formalities out of the way, now that it's official, Mark, like Sarper, has a special surprise in store for his wife. He's arranged... No, don't turn off the video. It's not a striptease. He's arranged a special plane ride together. Yeah, thankfully for all our sakes, Mark and Mina and Shekinah and Sarper are two very different couples. Now, going back to the wedding, the party, the after party, is great too. I mean, even Jordan is having fun.
Today's been actually pretty good. They're really having a great time, and I feel like everyone's really getting along. You know, in the beginning, I didn't know her that well, but I think that I can get a better vibe now.
Jordan and Mina, get this, they even end up dancing together. Like, Jordan reveals that she feels a lot better about this relationship, and she's also happy about how everyone will now fit in together. But, she warns, that doesn't mean that I want them to have any more kids. I don't.
But if they were to decide to have more kids in the future, I would still be very upset about that. That's how I feel about it.
So, with that in mind, it's probably a good thing that Jordan isn't privy to this conversation later on.
Everything's gonna be great, so...
I'm pregnant. Not joking. You
My
okay?
knees are weak.
Yeah, I don't think that Jordan would have found that amusing. She would have had a heart attack. Now, on the plus side, I think Mina deserves some credit for not being late to this wedding. Late like she was to the baptism in Paris. Can you imagine? Like we saw last week, just how badly that went for Shawn and Alliya. So, on that topic, let's catch up with them today, the day after their disastrous wedding. Now, first things first, how is Shawn's mum?
She tore ligaments on both sides of her foot. We helped her into the house, and after a while went to bed, and Alliya and I slept in separate rooms.
When the wedding eventually finished, Shawn's mum rushed to the hospital where it was discovered that she'd torn her ligaments. I mean, you've got to say, the poor lady must have been in pain all day. It's no wonder that Shawn was so antsy, like having waited for 2 whole hours for Alliya to finally show up. All he wanted was for everything to finish as quickly as possible so his mum could finally go to hospital. Now, the flip side of that, of course, is this definitely wasn't the wedding day or the wedding night of either of their dreams. But even today in the cold light of day, Shawn is still very angry.
For me, it felt selfish. You took all the joy out of it for me. All of it.
His mum was injured, like Alliya knew that. Shawn says that it's Alliya's lack of concern about that bothers him the most. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, he says, her being late would have annoyed me, but combine that with my mum's injury and it literally made me rethink everything. But from her perspective, Alliya says that's not fair. You're interpreting it all wrong. Just because I was late, that doesn't mean that I wasn't concerned about your mum, she says.
I was worried about you and about your mom and think about everything.
Right, but I have a cell phone. You didn't call my cell phone to go, what's going on? I'm worried. What's happening?
Shawn's right. I mean, it wouldn't have taken a lot for Alliya just to check in, just to find out how his mum was doing. Now, the thing is, as we've seen on the show and as many of us may have experienced in real life for ourselves, wedding days can be very nerve-wracking occasions, right? You're not necessarily thinking straight. But Alliya's excuse doesn't exactly make sense. She says she didn't check in with Shawn because she felt frozen and she didn't know what to do. But the problem is, we saw her. Like, we literally saw her getting ready. She was having a great time. And while she does go on to apologise, the truth is, the damage might already be done.
These things make me go, maybe I need to push you away in order to save myself.
Wait, that's not entirely accurate, is it? Shawn had a lot of doubts about this marriage long before their wedding day. But isn't it ironic, isn't it sad that of all things, it's the wedding that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back? This really does seem to be something that Shawn may never be able to get past. And Alliya realises that her dreams, her fairy tale, may be over before they've even started.
I'm here. I should be happy. I should be living my fairy tale. It's really uncertain about our future.
Yeah, their future is very uncertain indeed. So with the next episode being the tell-all, I can't help but wonder whether or not these two are actually still together.